Hey, what's up? This is Richard Lion King reporting for duty. Nam yaho renge kyo, nam yaho renge kyo, nam yaho renge kyo, nam yaho renge kyo. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about why Nichiren Buddhism is the very best Buddhism to practice. Now, in order for me to better explain this, I kind of need to go back to the past and sort of explain to you what the original intention of Buddhism was, because if you're watching this video, then you're probably aware that there are different types of Buddhism that exist out there, some of which can be like Zen Buddhism, just as an example. And then, of course, there's Nichiren Buddhism, which is what I practice. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Shakyamuni Buddha, who was the original Buddha in India who came up with the idea of Buddhism, or at the very least, he is what sparked the inspiration for what became Buddhism later. He basically went through his own version of becoming enlightened. There's a whole story about how he was originally a prince who was very well taken care of, and once he became aware of human suffering, he kind of went out on a journey to be able to find the solution to humanity's problems. And on his journey to obtain his own version of enlightenment, he meditated a lot. Now, one thing that he did is that once he was able to figure out how to become enlightened, he basically decided to create these teachings in the form of different sutras. And these sutras he basically taught to his disciples, and he basically had them travel around and spread his teachings. Now, the thing is, throughout Shakyamuni's lifetime, he made several different sutras, which are basically several teachings, which is the reason why we have so many different Buddhisms that exist in the world today. They all just represent all the different sutras that Shakyamuni wrote during his time of being alive. However, one thing that is mentioned is the fact that Shakyamuni was not a god. He was essentially a normal person who had figured out how to create a state of ultimate happiness from within. And during the times that he was writing these sutras, in essence, he was still figuring it all out. The final sutra that he wrote, which was called the Lotus Sutra. You could essentially say that the Lotus Sutra is basically the final product that Shakyamuni was able to create after having a long life of creating other sutras with the intent of helping people to achieve the same state of happiness and Buddhahood that he was able to achieve. And you could essentially say that the Lotus Sutra is the final version. It's like everything else that came before that was considered a prototype of the real thing, which is why when you study the Lotus Sutra, it is expressed by Shakyamuni that this is the most important sutra for helping people to obtain the ultimate state of enlightenment. So it was Shakyamuni's will for the Lotus Sutra to be what people practice. Now, you might be asking yourself, why exactly is the Lotus Sutra considered to be the very best sutra when it comes to what it is that you should be practicing in order to obtain enlightenment, in other words, a state of happiness? Why is the Lotus Sutra considered to be the most important sutra compared to all the others? Now, the reason why this is the case is because the ultimate idea of what Shakyamuni wanted to do was he wanted to create a way for people to obtain enlightenment in a much easier way than he did, because he went through everything from meditations to changing his diet to wearing specific clothes to setting out specific rules. And the thing is, for the average person, having to abide by all these different ways of living would make it more difficult to obtain enlightenment. And so what makes the Lotus Sutra special is the fact that Shakyamuni was able to incorporate the most fundamental important elements of obtaining a Buddhahood in the easiest and most simplistic way possible. Because in order to follow the Lotus Sutra, all you have to do is chant, and you say the words Nam Yaha Renge Kyo, Nam Yaha Renge Kyo, Nam Yaha Renge Kyo, Nam Yaha Renge Kyo. You can see it on my shirt right here. It says Nam. You basically say Nam, Myoho, Renge, and Kyo. That's basically all you have to do. And when you say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you're basically saying, I devote myself to the mystic law. And the mystic law, if you don't know, is basically everything that we see. It's to say that when you think about the planet, when you think about the forest, when you think about nature, when you think about the way that things sort of work in kind of a synergistic unit and how it all comes together, it's like we can't accurately explain what it is that is this phenomenon that is this planet, but we do know that it's there. So the idea is when you say Nam Myoho Myoho Renge Kyo, you are in essence connecting yourself to all that is, which in turn brings out this super energy, this super power within yourself that is going to enable you to show up in the world as your best self with unlimited wisdom and unlimited positive self-regard and just the unlimited ability to connect and help other people. So the reason why the Lotus Sutra is the best is why it is considered the final form and the best form of Buddhism to practice, is because it is by far the easiest way for a person to take the core aspects of Buddhism without having to spend hours doing meditation, or or shaving your head or becoming a vegetarian. It just has the fundamental aspects in it in order to help you to obtain Buddhahood. So that is essentially why it is considered to be the best.